What is going on, everyone? And thank you for tuning in to episode 7 of Kwik, Shotz. Today, we will be talking about specialist and specialism. So let's cut to it and cue that intro. Specialist and specialism. What is it? Well, today in this episode of Kwik, Shotz, that's what we're going to be going over. On another episode that's going to come out later this week, I'm going to talk about generalism and generalist, and we'll cover that whole side of the story as well. But today we are going to talk about specialist and specialism. So let me read you the definition for specialist before we get into anything else, because I think it's important to have a foundation. So a specialist is a person who concentrates primarily on a particular subject or activity, a person highly skilled in a specific and restricted field. What does that mean? So in layman's terms, a specialist is someone who is good at one thing. Very good at one thing. They could be the best at one thing. This is people like doctors, lawyers. Basically, I'm going to be honest with you, it's what school sets you up for, to be a specialist and be good at one particular thing. And let's go over the disadvantages of being a specialist. Being a specialist just really narrow minds you. And you might be saying, like, what does that mean? Being a specialist means you're only going to be focusing on one topic. You're not going to be focusing on anything else. You're going to be, if you want to be a doctor, you're going to be a doctor. Like, straight up, if you want to be a surgeon, you're going to learn, or a heart surgeon, you're going to learn every in and out of the heart, so you can do a great job when the time comes where you have to do a surgery or something. I'm not a doctor or studying to be one, so disregard anything I say about what a doctor actually does. But what a specialist is they try and specialize in a certain field, so one day they can make a lot of money. And that's what, like, a huge advantage of being a specialist is. If you're a doctor or you're a lawyer or you're an accountant, you're going to make a lot of money because you're going to try and be the best of that field, and you'll know that one specific skill. And here's the thing about being a specialist. This is how I like to put it. So, you know, like a puzzle, right? Or if you're a business here, if you're a hospital, whatever it may be. Each of these specialists are like a piece to the puzzle, and someone else is creating the picture overall. A specialist is like one of those singular puzzle pieces where when I add it to a bunch of other pieces, it's going to form a picture. And being a specialist, like, I'm not discrediting anyone that's a doctor or wants to strive to be that, but this is where I think being a specialist might hurt people that are becoming one. Let's use a doctor as an example, and I think a lawyer would be the same thing, but just as a doctor, let's just talk about that. Let's keep it to that. When you're a doctor and you're in pre-med school, you are learning so much. You're probably studying like day, night, just trying to figure out, I don't know, the parts of the human body. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. But you're probably studying really hard to figure out or to pass a test and understand everything that you need to know, because when you're a doctor, that's something that's very important. But here is the thing when you are trying to become a doctor. You miss out on several other skills. One being communication. Have you guys ever walked in a doctor's office and the doctor's obviously knows what he's doing, but he's really hard to talk to? This doctor missed out on a very important skill, and that's communication. When you're studying day and night and trying to become a doctor, that's something that you can overlook because it's something that you're not going to be tested on. You're not going to be tested on how to talk to a patient or how to talk to a family or how to have just a basic conversation. They miss out on that. And that's the downside of being a specialist. Your mind is narrowed, and you have this almost tunnel vision towards other subjects, or just trying to, how do I want to put this? It puts you into the exact lane that you want to be rather than trying to pass other cars Or, yeah, I think it's like a highway and you're staying in the right lane and other people are passing you by and you keep staying in the right lane no matter what else happens. That's what specialism is. And again, I don't want to say that like it's an awful thing to be a specialist, but if you are trying to become a specialist, try and open your mind to other things. Like if I'm a doctor and like I'm studying in pre-med school, go out on like a Friday or Saturday night. And I talk about going out on Friday nights. Don't be doing that. But anyway, like go and actually talk to someone. Like try and join a club with a bunch of other people in the field and just be able to work on communicating with someone else. Because being trapped in a room and learning everything about the human body is awesome, but you're missing out on other skills that you need to be able to do in order to be the best specialist that you can be or be the best doctor. And that's the main problem. Like school will teach I don't really want to talk about the school system, but that's what it tries to get you to do. If school, you are trying to become a specialist. You are trying to become the best accountant, stockbroker, what else? Marketing major, doctor, lawyer, whatever, English teacher, whatever it may be. What college doesn't teach you to do is to try and go to other classes and learn something else. So I'm a business student and say I want to study accounting. That's great that I can read a financial statement, and that would make me a specialist if I just studied accounting all those years. But what's great about college, I know this is during COVID times, but during pre-COVID, let's just put it in a better perspective. It would be a way easier way of explaining this. Go to another class. Like, I know it sounds like something you don't want to do and you don't have time. Cut that out. Like, you actually have time. If you're spending 2 hours a day on TikTok on your phone, like, come on, man. Don't lie to yourself. But try and go to another class. Like, learn something else, because that's the thing. It's not like you're getting tested on any of this. You don't have to stress out about a grade that you're going to get or something other than that. Like, if you're going to be a specialist, try and learn another piece of the puzzle to be able to make your own picture rather than just adding your piece to someone else's bigger puzzle. I know this, again, sounds like a little bit out of whack, but this is like my best way of trying to explain what a specialist is. I'm more of a generalist, so when that episode comes out, I'm going to be able to give you guys a lot more knowledge. Again, I always try and harp on you guys, like, don't take everything that I say to heart. Go do your own research too. I'm not the end all be all. I'm not some God that's going to give you all the right answers. Like, if you think that way and you think that you're doing that, get out of here. You can always learn from someone else. But back to the topic of specialism. It's something that I don't personally like, and that's why it's hard for me to be very unbiased about it. But, like, hey, if you want to be a doctor, go be a doctor, but learn other skills. If you want to be a lawyer, go be a lawyer, but try and learn something else along the way. Don't be so narrow-minded and don't have that tunnel vision. And guys, I think I've been repeating myself, so I'm going to cut it off there. If you guys like this episode, if you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, get a follow at me so you can get notified whenever a new podcast comes out. By this time, especially when this podcast comes out, I release 3 a week, the interview style, 2 of these Kwik Shotz episodes. And yeah, so you'll have a lot of content. I'm trying to put more content out there. I have school starting soon, so I'm going to try and be as busy as possible to get content for you guys out there. If you guys didn't already know, in January, I did a $100 cash giveaway. This is probably going to come out sometime in February. But if you guys want another thing like that, go support me. I'll support you guys right back. If it's as little as liking a picture, I have an Anchor. I have a donation link in my Anchor, on my Anchor website. What else? Well, merchandise. Keep on keeping on. Beanies are out. I'm trying to get shirts that say "I know Ronan Bell." I hope those are out by the time this comes out. I know I probably sound like a broken record at this point, but trying to do anything else. Oh, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're watching it on there. Hit the bell so you get notified whenever a new podcast comes out. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't want to try and ramble anymore. But guys, thank you for tuning in today. Hope you are getting through whatever you are going through. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, y'all just keep on keeping on.